Hi there. Delighted to be part of this event. My name is Alastair Lidel. I am founder and CEO of the Private Investment Group. The Private Investment Group, just a little background, is a Dubai-based um, investment company working very closely with a number of key investment stakeholders around the GCC. We work with public sector funds, semi-government funds, as well as then the private sector, private wealth, and many of the families in the GCC states. Obviously, here in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Oman, and Kuwait. For us, it's fintech as a subject is very much a leading part of the mandates that we receive on a regular basis. If you look at the UAE specifically, it has a 24% coverage, market coverage, when it comes to where these fintech companies are choosing to base themselves, or where many of them are incubated, supported. Um, Many of the countries, Bahrain, Saudi, are incredible places to do business and to grow and expand a company, especially in the fintech space. I would say, being based in the UAE and spending a lot of time in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, it's quite an incredible place, to be honest, to be coming, whether you are a startup in the fintech space. You have incredible initiatives from the government, um, such as Dubai Future Foundation, Dubai Future District, um, which I strongly encourage anyone to look into. And obviously down in Abu Dhabi, you have Hub 71, which is funded by Mubadala. This is one of the sovereign wealth funds based in Abu Dhabi, and these really provide incredible support for fintech businesses that are either looking to get some of that seed capital in, get that support, also have guidance. I think this is one of the key areas where the UAE specifically really flourishes in as far as its open door policies. So many times, if you're in London and creating product from scratch, um, often you maybe have to fill in some of the gaps as to what's going to be actually required by the bank that might plug this in to be an end user, what's going to be used by another financial institution. Here, those dialogues are quite easy and free to have. So you can really build out and tweak your product or your service um, based off end user information. It's great to do market research. It's even better to be able to engage your potential end user to build the product that they actually want. And I think this part of the world is incredibly good at engaging in that dialogue and having um, that ability to discuss openly. Um, Obviously, the wider MENA region, looking slightly beyond to Middle East, North Africa, there is a massive percentage. It's about banking the unbanked, um, and the unbanked, can be an issue in the wider MENA region. And so, fintech um, as a sector is, as I said at the beginning, is a real focus, and incredible opportunities from a commercial aspect, but also from an ethical standpoint. We all should have the right to be able to control our money, to be able to purchase, sell, trade, and banking is an incredibly important part of that. So, yeah, from our perspective, the fintech sector here is not just important from a transactional perspective; it's important from a infrastructural standpoint. Um, I think when you also look at the economic free zones in terms of what they offer, businesses coming in. Um, Here in Dubai, you have Dubai International Financial Centre, DIFC, and obviously down in Abu Dhabi, ADGM, Abu Dhabi Global Markets, both based on international common law, both 100% foreign ownership, um, incredibly fluid setup, relatively inexpensive, um, and again providing that wider support structure from a licensing perspective. Um, Obviously, when it comes to raising capital from this part of the world. Um, you know, so the following comments relate to all sectors really as a whole, but looking specifically at the financial technologies that are looking to come in, especially if they're in the growth stage, it's very important to understand your value add to the region. Anyone that knows me knows that value add probably leave my mouth once every 30 seconds, but it's really just because it's probably the single most important factor when it comes to getting strategic partnerships, joint ventures, raising capital, to really understand what value that's going to bring here. How's that going to benefit the end user? What's here already? Really doing your market research and looking at what problem this is going to fix. The economy here has been moving away from an oil-based economy for quite a long time, longer than I think people realize. They're cash positive in terms of deployments last year in the region, 27 billion, which was a record year during COVID, which is admirable and to be applauded. So I think when you're especially in a growth stage, as a fintech, it's very, very important to look at what you're going to bring here, having your MENA HQ, putting down roots, plugging into the ecosystems that exist. There's a tremendous amount of support that you can get. So yeah, come here and start to learn and start to see what's actually happening. From the private investment group standpoint, our goal is to bring value again back to our investment partners, whether that be a family, whether that be a fund, whether government or private. It's really to make sure that the types of fintech companies they're looking for, which can alter. Some are looking for early stage, some are looking for growth, some are looking for Series B, Series C. There is a home for everyone. It's really just making sure that you're fully prepared. Some of the work that we do is really helping people to understand how protocols, ways things work in this part of the world, because it's wonderful, it's unique, it's multicultural, it's highly international, but like anywhere, has its ways of operating. So coming here with an open mind is incredibly important. For me personally, speaking as Alastair rather than just the parent investment group, we see the growth of companies such as Revolut, and what they've done and their ability to scale, and that's just sort of the tip of the iceberg, really, in my personal belief. A lot of the powers that be in this part of the world are looking to heavily upgrade the banking sector, looking to heavily upgrade in consumer finance, and how individuals and how end users can provide or have a safer, smoother, more effective platform in which to manage their own money or their business money. So it's I see a sustained growth throughout this year, so it's a good time to be coming to this part of the world. It's a good time to be having those discussions and conversations, and I think 2021 will be an incredible year for financial technology, as a whole. I think my final point would be, when you're here, it's really coming with the aim and the target of understanding where you can bring innovation, understand where you can bring your own original impactful ideas, because you've got an incredible open-mindedness here that will welcome that innovation, welcome that vision, but making sure that you're very, very clear on what that is and how you'd like to achieve it. and you will find an incredible amount of support and also capital that is ready to be deployed, regardless of what stage you're at. So, I wish everyone the best of luck. If you're a startup watching this great event, or maybe you're just sat there and you have an idea, maybe you haven't started yet. Just read, do as much reading, learn, absorb as much as you can about this part of the world and other parts as well, of course. But really do as much research as you possibly can. Don't overcomplicate something that doesn't need to be overcomplicated. Part of when you look at UI UX, perspective, if you're talking about some sort of fintech that engages with apps, customers want it to be simple. We all want it to be simple. So look at those problems in banking or payments or remittance or payment gateways, payment processing. Look at where the gaps are. Every country, every zone, every continent has its gaps, has its issues, and I'm sure that some of you watching have the solution. And please always feel free to reach out to me or any of the team. If you want any insights or any thoughts, and if you're looking to come to the region to look for partnerships or to try and approach capital, we're always here to help. So again, thank you very much indeed. It's always a pleasure engaging with the team, and everyone stay safe, and looking forward to a very positive year ahead for everyone. Thank you.